So when you're getting gerbils, often families will get them as a child's first pet. You want to first research about gerbils to find out what they like to eat, how you should house them, should they have a friend, where you should house them in your house, and how long they live. So actually you can get that from our website too. We have fact sheets that you can download and print out. So we have that all for you. So just go to sbca.bc.ca. So our gerbils, you might be wondering, why are they in an aquarium like this? We want to give them space. So the more space, obviously, the better. We want to think about what they're doing normally, naturally in the wild. So that's why we need the aquarium. Those plastic cages, housing units that you can get, for us, it's not appropriate for them, because gerbils naturally like to dig. And sometimes people see the gerbils in their cages digging in the corner constantly, and that can be a sign that they're not doing so great, that they need to do more of that behavior. So that's why you see we have Carefresh, we have shredded newspaper, and we put cardboard in there, and they can chew it, because naturally they like to chew a lot. So they can chew, dig, tunnel, and what we've done, so we've got lots of this paper stuff in here so they can dig in the corners if they like, or they can dig and tunnel. Then we've done, I'm going to be very careful. We have the top on, just so they can't climb out. Careful with their water. We've made stuff too. We've kind of set it up so that if they dig, if we put just a water bowl in there, that might be filled with water all the time, or sorry, with the paper, so their water would be soaked up, and they wouldn't have access to water. So that's how we use the water bottle, and we're hanging it so that it doesn't get covered in paper. So you'll see here we put these plastic little pieces of tubes from the other plastic cages in, so that they can burrow and crawl through them, and then we have a paper towel roll, and we just make it lots of fun. They can chew that, and they can make their way through, and they can redo their home the way they want. And we try not to disturb it too much. So a couple things that we want to do is make sure that, one, these tubes that we put in are safe, that they're big enough, that they're not too tiny, that the gerbil is going to get stuck in it. So we always make sure they're the right size. And then what we do, you can see even the food bowl, we've tied that up, because it often gets buried. So what we like to do, is put something in that the food bowl can sit on top. The gerbils can get access to it, and it won't get filled up with too much paper. And then we always make sure we have the proper gerbil food. You don't want to just get something that, rats eat it, mice eat it, we'll just give them whatever. We want to make sure that it's actually good for them, good gerbil food. So we put some of that in. And then what we like to do is give them a treat every morning so that we know that they're eating, because what they'll do with this food is they'll take it and they'll go and hide it. So we want to make sure they're actually eating. Basically, if I wanted to handle him, again, gerbils aren't like, say, rats, or if they haven't been handled a lot when they're babies, they may be nervous of your hands. You can imagine if somebody was coming up to you and your hand was, coming right into your face. It's scary. So same thing for us. So what I'm going to do, see, he just took off. So he doesn't want to be handled. If I needed to pick him up, what I would do is either use a tube like this, or I might get like a Kleenex box emptied and put it in, and then when he put a treat in, when he goes in, then carefully pick it up and then move him into another container if I was cleaning this one. With cleaning, for something like this, I would probably clean maybe twice a week. If it really depends, maybe once a week. It depends on what you're putting in. And for me, I'm going to be every day checking on my hamster, interacting with him, giving him treats, just making sure that he's eating and he's doing okay. Because again, it's harder to see, their feces, because the feces would tell me a lot about what's going on. So I want to really make sure. Are you going to take it from me? Nope. So they're just scared. So sometimes with the plastic tubes, I'll put the opening one inside and then one out here. So if they go in there and sleep, I can see what they're doing in there. And then I don't have to actually handle and scare them. And then the ventilation, again, we have the aquarium. A small little one isn't big enough. Again, we want to give them room, space to explore, dig, do everything they do naturally, because we want them to be happy and healthy. And then we put the screen on top. We tie the water up, again, making sure that it's working. So you're always checking your water bottle, make sure that the water's coming out, and that there's enough bottom coverage here, the paper or the little cardboard, so that they can actually get up and get the water. And that it's not covered over. So you're always checking for that. And then the screen too is so that they can't get out. And then sometimes what people do is they set this up beautifully and then they put towels on top or something. They're thinking, oh, it's nice and quiet and dark for them. But look, if we do that, there's not proper ventilation. So we always have to be thinking about them. We might think that, oh, that's okay. But no, let's just take that off. And even if you just hung it on the back, if you're here in the shelter, we put that there so that the dogs aren't scaring them or even the people. So we do that, but we keep the top open with the screen so that they have proper ventilation.